Now, in this lecture, we are going to implement a simple network simulation in the Contiki-NG operating system. Now, Contiki-NG comes with a simulator known as the COOJA simulator that we can easily use to simulate our applications that we created that are aimed for deployment on the IoT devices. So we can simply simulate them to see how they work, and if there is any way that we want to modify them, we make necessary modification before deploying them on IoT devices. So we are going to make use of this COOJA simulator to see how a simple client-server network could be implemented in this Contiki-NG operating system. So the first thing, I am on the Contiki-NG operating system now, which is a simple Ubuntu system. We have the Contiki-NG installed on it. So all I have to do, I'm going to navigate to this directory where we have this COOJA simulator. So I'm going to navigate to, first of all, to Contiki, and then on the Contiki there is a directory called Tools, and then after Tools there's a directory called the COOJA simulator. So I'm in that directory now. I can type the command ls to see the content of this directory. So these are the content of this directory, and for me to launch the COOJA simulator, I'm going to issue the command sudo and run, and then I'm going to hit enter. Now it's asking for my password. I'm going to enter my password. So I've entered the password. Now this Contiki COOJA simulator is going to launch to enable me create my simulation and run my simulation within the Contiki-NG operating system. So this is the COOJA simulator that we can use to create our simulations and see how our IoT devices could perform in this Contiki-NG operating system. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll just come here under file. I'm going to create new simulation. I'll click on new simulation, and then I'm going to name my simulation. Let me name it network simulation. So network simulation. And for the advanced settings, I'm going to leave them as they are at the default. So I'm going to create, click on create. Now this is the COOJA simulation environment. Now the next thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a mode. Now a mode simply means it corresponds to a node in an IoT network. So a mode, when we say a mode, we mean a node, okay, and which is an IoT device. So mode, add mode, create new mode, and then I'm going to select sky mode. And then now I'm going to browse, since I want to implement a simple client server network. I'm going to select the server and then come and select the client devices and create the client devices. So I'm going to browse, click on browse, and then let me go to the within this Contiki-NG. Within the Contiki-NG there is a folder called examples. So I'm going to select examples. Now within this example is a folder called RPL UDP. I'm going to open that particular directory, and then within the RPL UDP there's a folder called UDP server.c. So I'm going to select that, and then so I've selected UDP server.c, which is going to be the server in this particular network simulation. So I'm going to compile it by clicking on this compile button. So it is going to compile. After compiling and there is no any error, then I'm going to click on create. So I'm going to create it now. I just want here it enables me to specify the number of the servers. So I just want a single server, so I'll click on add mode. So it has now added one type of mode of type UDP server. Now after adding the UDP server, now I want to go and add the client that will communicate with these servers to form a client server network. So I'll just go over again under here mode, add mode. I'm going to select create new mode type, and then I'm go over sky mode again, and then I'm going to browse again to here, and this time around I'm going to select UDP client.c. I will select it, and then I'll click on compile. So it has also finished compiling successfully. So I'll click on create, which will now proceed. Now with this time around, let me select the 7 mode. Click on add mode. So as you can see, it has added the mode for me. So let me increase the window here. Let me adjust the window here a little. Adjust the window here a little. Okay, so let me shift to this one here. All right, let me increase this one here as well. So this is the network environment where we have our mode, and we can do some little manipulations. We can enable some, more information that we want to see on this particular environment, or we can enable or disable it. So at this moment, we can see the mode ID, we can see radio traffic, we can see 10-meter background type, we can see mode type if we want. Let me select mode type so I to differentiate between server and client. Okay, so I think it is okay for now. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I will just radio. Let me see radio environment. Okay, it's also radio environment. All right, okay, I believe it is okay. So I'm going to select. If I click on this, it's going to show the range, the transmission range. Which nodes are within the transmission range of each other. So we can see all these nodes that are within this cycle, within this green cycle, are within the transmission range of each other. So let me click on start. Now the simulation has started. So we can see this the nodes are communicating. Node 2 and 3 cannot communicate directly with the server, so they have to communicate via node 5. So node 5 is now acting as the parent of this node 2 and 3. Node 2 and 3 client will relay their packet to node 5, and then node 5 will now relay their packet to the server, and so like that. And now even if the server wants to communicate to node 2 and 3, it will communicate to node 2 and 3 via node 5. So because node 2 and 3, they are outside the transmission range of the server. So we can see under the mode type, mode output, we can see some more information that we can go through and see how the modes are communicating among themselves. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to pause the simulation. This is just a lecture to illustrate how a simple network could be simulated using COOJA simulator in Contiki-NG operating system. So I'm going to stop it. We'll just click on pause.